The little girl's scream pierced through Boston Common. Sophia's heart stopped. She spun around just in time to see Grace stumbling backward toward the pond, her tiny foot catching on the stone edge. A hand shot out, grabbed her, pulled her back to safety. Sophia ran forward, breathless, reaching for her daughter, but she froze when she looked up. No, the man holding Grace wasn't a stranger. Silver-grey eyes, sharp jawline, the face she'd been running from for 3 years. Dominic Kane. Mama, Grace squirmed free, running back to Sophia's arms. But Dominic wasn't looking at Grace anymore. He was staring at the little boy clutching Sophia's hand, at Noah, at the identical silver-grey eyes staring back at him. His voice came out cold, deadly calm. How old are they, Sophia? She couldn't breathe, couldn't think. 3 years of hiding, and it took 15 seconds for her entire world to collapse. I asked you a question, his tone dropped. How old? 2.5, she whispered. The calculation flashed across his face instantly. The math was simple. His children. These were his children. Don't, Sophia stepped back, pulling both kids behind her. Don't you dare. Run, Dominic stepped forward. You did that once, it's not happening again. Please. My car now, he gestured toward the black SUV idling at the curb. Or I call my lawyers and have security take them right here in front of everyone. Your choice. If you're already hooked, hit that subscribe button. This story is about to get intense. 1:30, the Penthouse ACTII begins. The Penthouse overlooked the Boston Harbor. Floor-to-ceiling windows, marble floors, cold, expensive, empty. Sophia stood in the center of the living room, Noah and Grace pressed against her legs, while Dominic paced like a caged animal. Start talking. Dominic. 3 years, Sophia, his voice cracked. You kept my children from me for 3 years. I was protecting them. From what? From me? Yes, the word burst out of her. From your world, from the violence, the danger, from growing up with bodyguards and blood money and you thought poverty was better, he gestured at their worn clothes. You thought running was the answer. Sophia's hands trembled. You don't understand, that night, your birthday, I was going to tell you I was pregnant. I came to the club early, but I heard you. His eyes narrowed. Heard what? You were in the back office, with someone tied to a chair. Her voice shook. You put a gun to his head, Dominic. You asked where the shipment was. You didn't even raise your voice. You were so calm about it. The memory made her sick even now. And then your mother came. My mother. Victoria found me in the storage room. She looked at me like I was trash. Sophia's voice hardened. She said, girls like you are useful for one thing, don't get ideas about my son. Then she told me you were engaged to marry into the Romano family, that it was business, that I was temporary. Dominic's jaw clenched. She had no right. She was right, Sophia cut him off. I was a bartender with nothing, you were the heir to a crime empire. What was I supposed to do? Bring Barbies into that, let them grow up as targets. So you ran to Portland, changed your name, disappeared. I gave them a normal life. You gave them poverty, he slammed his hand on the wall. You were alone, struggling, you could have. Could have what? Come crawling back, begged you to acknowledge them, she laughed bitterly. Your mother made it clear where I stood. Silence fell between them. Then Noah's small voice, Mama, is the nice man angry? Both adults froze. Dominic looked down, really looked at his son for the first time. The boy had his eyes, his dark hair, even the stubborn set of his jaw. He crouched down slowly. I'm not angry at you, Noah, I could never be angry at you. Grace peeked out from behind Sophia's leg. You saved me from the water. I did. Are you gonna stay? The question broke something in Dominic's chest. He looked up at Sophia. We need to fix this. There's nothing to fix, we're fine. No, he stood. You're not fine, and now that you're back in Boston, you're in danger. The moment someone figures out who these children are. No one knows. I figured it out in 15 seconds, Sophia. How long before my enemies do? The truth of it hit her like ice water. Marry me. Sophia stared at him. What? Marry me tomorrow, City Hall. You're insane. I'm practical. Dominic's voice was pure business now. You marry me, the children get my name, my protection, my legal rights. You get financial security, a home, safety. And you get what? To be their father. You don't love me. This isn't about love. He stepped closer. This is about keeping them alive. My enemies will use anything to get to me. Right now you're vulnerable, unprotected, easy targets. Sophia's blood ran cold. You're trying to scare me. I'm telling you the truth. His eyes bored into hers. Marry me and you're untouchable. Refuse and you're on your own. How long do you think you'll last? That's not fair. Life isn't fair, but I'm offering you a way out. She looked at her children, at their innocent faces. What about your mother? Let me handle my mother. What about us? Separate bedrooms. This is a business arrangement, nothing more. He pulled out his phone. I'll have my lawyer draw up a prenup. You'll be protected financially no matter what happens. I don't want your money. Then do it for them. He gestured to Noah and Grace. Do it so they never have to be afraid again. She hated that he was right. Okay, the word felt like surrender. Okay. Victoria Kane arrived at the Penthouse 3 hours later. Tall, elegant, cold as Boston winter. Mother. Dominic, she didn't even glance at Sophia. We need to talk, alone. Anything you have to say, you can say in front of my fiancé. Victoria's eyes finally landed on Sophia, then on the children playing with blocks in the corner. So it's true, her voice could cut glass. You're really doing this. I am. Over a bartender and her bastards. My children, Dominic corrected sharply, and my future wife, show some respect. Victoria laughed, it wasn't a kind sound. She turned to Sophia. How much? Excuse me. How much to disappear? 5 million, 7. She opened her purse, pulled out a checkbook. Name your price. Sophia felt like she'd been slapped. I'm not for sale. Everyone has a price, dear. Not me, Sophia stood taller. And definitely not my children, your grandchildren by the way, not that you seem to care. Victoria's expression hardened. You have no idea what you're getting into. This world will chew you up and spit you out. Then I'll learn to fight back. They locked eyes, 2 women, 2 different worlds, neither backing down. Finally, Victoria snapped her purse shut. You're making a mistake, Dominic. It's my mistake to make. Then don't expect my blessing or my presence. She walked to the door, then paused. When this falls apart, and it will, don't come crying to me. The door slammed. Noah looked up from his blocks. Was that lady mean? Sophia knelt beside him. Some people just don't know how to be kind yet. Dominic watched her comfort his son, their son. Maybe this arrangement wouldn't be so simple after all. Drop a comment below. Do you think Victoria will ever come around? Let's discuss. The Boston Public Garden was Grace's favorite place. Sophia pushed her on the swings while Noah chased pigeons nearby. Cole Rivers, Dominic's head of security, stood 20 feet away, watching, always watching. Marriage to Dominic had been strange. They lived in the same penthouse but led separate lives. He left for work before sunrise, came home after the kids were asleep, polite, distant, professional. Except for the small moments. The way he'd find excuses to read bedtime stories. How he'd leave coffee ready for her every morning. The photo of all 4 of them he'd put in his office. It wasn't love, but it wasn't nothing either. Mrs. Kane, Cole's voice cut through her thoughts, sharp, urgent. She turned. 2 men in masks were running toward them, fast. Noah, Sophia screamed. Everything happened at once. Cole tackled one man. Sophia grabbed Noah, pulling him behind her as the second man lunged for Grace. Sophia didn't think. She swung the metal thermos from her bag, connected with his head. The man stumbled. Grace screamed. The man reached again. A gunshot cracked through the air. The man dropped. Cole stood over him, weapon drawn, face grim. Get in the car now. Dominic arrived at the penthouse in under 4 minutes. Sophia had never seen him like this, frantic, disheveled, terrified. He burst through the door and went straight to the children, dropping to his knees, checking them over with shaking hands. Are you hurt? Did they touch you? Tell me. We're okay, Sophia said quietly. We're all okay. He pulled Noah and Grace into his arms, held them tight, too tight. Then he looked at Sophia, really looked at her, at the bruise forming on her arm where she'd fought, at the tear in her jacket. You protected them. Of course I did. He stood slowly, passing the children to Cole. Take them to the safe room. Dominic. Now Cole. When they were alone, Dominic crossed the room, cupped Sophia's face in his hands. I'm going to kill whoever sent them. Don't, she gripped his wrists. Don't do something that'll take you away from us. Ursity. Your children need you alive, not in prison or dead in some gang war. His thumb brushed her cheek. When did you start caring? I don't know, the truth surprised her, but I do. Something shifted in his eyes. It was Anthony Russo. He wanted leverage, thought kidnapping one of the twins would force me to hand over territory. What are you going to do? A dark smile crossed Dominic's face. I'm going to destroy him, every business, every connection, every dollar. I'll make him wish he'd never heard the name Kane. Without bloodshed. I have other weapons, Sophia, money, power, legal pressure. He stepped back. By the end of the month, Russo will be bankrupt and run out of Boston, I promise you. And us, are we still in danger? Not when I'm done. He pulled out his phone. I'm doubling security, no more public parks without a full team, no more. No, Sophia caught his hand. I won't raise our children in a prison. Then what do you suggest? Teach me how to see threats, how to protect them myself. I'm not helpless, Dominic, I just need training. He stared at her. You really mean that? I'm a Kane now, aren't I? Teach me to act like one. For the first time since she'd known him, Dominic smiled, really smiled. All right, Mrs. Kane, tomorrow we start. 2 weeks later, Grace spiked a fever of 104. Sophia and Dominic spent the entire night in the emergency room, then brought her home under strict monitoring. They took turns with cold compresses, medication schedules, whispered prayers. At 3 a.m., Grace finally fell into peaceful sleep. Dominic and Sophia collapsed on the couch outside her room, exhausted, terrified together. I can't lose her, Dominic whispered. I just found her, I can't. You won't, Sophia took his hand. She's strong like her father. He looked at their intertwined fingers. When did this happen? What? When did we stop being strangers? Sophia's breath caught. I think, that night you read them The Velveteen Rabbit, and you cried at the ending. I did not cry. You absolutely did. A laugh escaped him, tired, real. I love you. The words hung in the air. Sophia's eyes widened. Dominic. I know this was supposed to be business, an arrangement, but somewhere between bedtime stories and emergency rooms, I fell in love with you, Sophia, with all three of you. Tears pricked her eyes. You can't just say things like that. Why not? Because, her voice broke, because I'm falling for you too, and that terrifies me. He pulled her closer. Then let's be terrified together. When he kissed her, it felt like coming home. Before we get to the ending, make sure you're subscribed. You won't want to miss what happens next. 3 months later. The penthouse was transformed. Lights, decorations, laughter. Noah and Grace hung ornaments while Sophia and Dominic watched from the kitchen. You're staring, she teased. Can you blame me? He wrapped his arms around her waist. I have everything I never knew I wanted. The doorbell rang. Cole answered it. Victoria Kane stood in the doorway, holding wrapped presents. The room went silent. Grandma, Grace ran forward before anyone could stop her. Victoria froze as the little girl hugged her legs. We drawed you pictures, wanna see? Noah joined in. Yeah, and I can write my name now, wanna see? Victoria's icy exterior cracked, just slightly. She looked at Dominic. May I come in? He nodded. Sophia appeared at his side, tense. Victoria set down the presents. I came to apologize. She turned to Sophia. I was cruel, unfair, I judged you without knowing you. Why the change? Because 3 months ago my son almost lost everything that matters, and I realized I was about to do the same. Victoria's voice softened. These children, they deserve a grandmother, and you're stronger than I gave you credit for. Sophia didn't know what to say. Victoria extended her hand. Can we start over? After a moment, Sophia shook it. For them, Sophia said, gesturing to the kids. For family, Victoria corrected. The Boston harbor glittered under sunset. Dominic led Sophia to the water's edge, while Cole watched the kids build sandcastles. What are we doing here? He got down on one knee. Dominic, we're already married. I married you because I had to. He pulled out a ring, a real one. Let me marry you again because I want to, because I love you. Because I choose you. Tears streamed down her face. Will you marry me, Sophia, for real this time? Yes, she laughed through the tears. Yes, you ridiculous man. He slid the ring on her finger, stood, kissed her like they had all the time in the world. Uncle Cole, Noah called, they're kissing again. Get used to it, kid, Cole grinned. The ceremony was small, intimate, perfect. Noah carried the rings, Grace scattered flowers. Victoria sat in the front row, smiling. When Dominic and Sophia exchanged vows, there were no lawyers, no contracts, no arrangements. Just love. I promise to choose you, Dominic said, every day in every way. I promise to trust you, Sophia whispered, even when I'm scared, especially when I'm scared. You may kiss your bride. And he did. Noah cheered, Grace clapped, Victoria dabbed her eyes. Cole caught the bouquet and looked genuinely confused. That evening, the family gathered on the penthouse balcony. 4 figures silhouetted against the Boston skyline. Mama, Noah tugged her dress. Are we gonna stay together forever? Sophia looked at Dominic, he smiled. Forever and always, sweetheart. Promise. Promise. Grace yawned, I love our family. Me too, princess, Dominic whispered, kissing her head. Me too. And for the first time in his life, Dominic Kane, crime lord billionaire feared by hundreds, felt something he'd never felt before. Complete.